What's up with the YouTube? Back at y'all with another one. You know what it is? Rubs hand like Birdman. That's what I do. Yeah, today's lesson in class. We're going back a year to February of 2020, where the debate of whether Dwight Howard was a Hall of Famer or not came up, like through the national media. This was around that time. This wasn't the exact month of, but around this time in the 2020-2021 season, NBA season, a lot of talks came up about Dwight Howard, given everything he been through in the league and stuff and he came up in a discussion where, is he a Hall of Famer or not? Sorry for the pause. I ain't write none of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I just go off my own IQ with it. But yeah. So let's get into it. Nick Young put up quite a voucher around that time. You know what I'm saying? This is from First Take from ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Nick Young chimed in his 2 3 worthy cents to this here. You know what I'm saying? And it's worth a lot more when you get the quote. And I quote from Twitter. So I'm having this big debate. I said Dwight Howard is for sure in the Hall of Fame. And people was looking at me crazy, saying I'm tripping. What y'all think? End quote. That was Nick Young. Obviously, he feels as though Dwight deserves his spot. You know what I'm saying? And I feel the same way, me personally. But what y'all think? Y'all, throw it down in the comment section. Who y'all think out of his draft class, of all the players in his draft class, like all the great ones, where do you rank Dwight Howard? Like, that's a separate question I want y'all to answer for me in the comment section below. But let's get into it though. Is Dwight Howard a Hall of Famer? We get into this debate, and I will be sitting in on this and giving y'all reactions. Ready? 3, 2, and so Max, do you think Dwight Howard is a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. I say that grudgingly, by the way, because I know why people might think that he's not, but I think he is. Dwight Howard, after the back injury, was not a Hall of Famer anymore. So he's only made 8 All-Star teams. 8 All-Star teams.
Does it matter how many All-Star teams a player makes? I mean, jeez, I like you, Max, but come on, man. Like, let's get that together. Like, I done seen plenty of players who got anointed to less All-Star games, did far less than Dwight Howard. Even guys at his position that's in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure of that. He won at least 3 Defensive Player of the Year awards, or two or three Defensive Player of the Year awards. I don't have those facts on me, but like 3 seasons with 14, averaging 14 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sure. The knock on him, he never averaged 20 as the best center in the league, but you got to go back to his time. The finesse bigs was still winning in that time, and then you talking about a young Dwight Howard, but all in all, he deserves to be in.
But he hasn't been an all-star player, or even a good player, even a player you want on your team very often, since he hurt his back, which is going back now almost a decade. He's kind of hung around. He's having a nice year this year. I think that's important for him. But Stephen A., in those 8 All-Star appearances, 5 times he was All-NBA first team. Forget about the number of times he's Defensive Player of the Year, the stats, everything else. He was 5.
Again, 8 All-Star appearances and 8 All-NBA selections. 5 first-team selections. 3 consecutive, so it was 3. In fact, it was 3 straight Defensive Player of the Year awards from 2009 to 2011. He led the NBA in rebounding 5 times. I just told y'all in 3 of those times he averaged over 14 rebounds a game. And stats show, the projections show that he could average a career high in rebounds. So he's still not done yet as far as that the rebounding department go. He still got more rebounds to go grab. He got the team to do it with now. He led the league in blocks 2 times. So obviously he's a minister of defense. You know what I'm saying? He was a minister of defense in his prime days also. You know what I'm saying? But he could still protect the rim with the best of them. He's 14th on all time on the NBA rebounds list with 13,587 as of February 20th, 2020. Again, this debate this debate we listening to is a year old.
5 times correctly named All NBA. The intensity of his prime. When you're a top 5 player in the NBA, it's not just that he was All NBA because you say, well, there weren't a lot of great centers. He was also correctly viewed as a top 5 player in the league back then. A team built around him made the finals. He was worth a max contract and probably more at his best. The quality of his prime, Stephen A., which is higher than a lot of people in the Hall of Fame, combined with the length of his career where he wasn't even that good but now is having a resurgence, makes him a Hall of Famer.
Max, this is hard for me because
How hard is it?
I respectfully disagree. I do not believe that Dwight Howard is a Hall of Famer.
But you supposed to be somebody who knows basketball, Stephen A. Smith. Damn. How dare you lead the people astray? You do not think he's a Hall of Famer, or you're getting paid to say Dwight Howard is not a Hall of Famer? Which one is it, Stephen A? But anyway, again, I just ran down the accolades to y'all. He averaged 16 and 12. He averaged 16 and 12 throughout the entirety of his career. Like, Dwight was one of the most athletic bigs of his time. Quite possibly the most athletic big man of his time. You know what I'm saying? People want to use the Superman stigma, the whole he's trying to compare himself to Shaq stigma. Dwight Howard knew he'll never be Shaq, but it ain't nothing wrong with being inspired by a great one to try to become a great one, if that makes sense to some of y'all who don't know nothing about what being great is. But Dwight Howard played, he was a great big man in his prime days, and he's still a more than serviceable enough big man in today's time. So I think with everything said, he gon' eventually shine in his role and earn himself a prominent role in that offense. He already a prominent defender. He knows about that. He know about grabbing rebounds. I don't understand y'all. Like, do I gotta? I mean, can I interest you? Can I interest you in 22 and 9, 27, 26, 26 in his first 4 seasons? And I ain't talking about points and rebounds, just points. 22, 9, 27, 26, 26. And people, you want to knock that as his only 4 seasons that he averaged over 20, but he's a center for crying out loud. So you got to look at other departments when it comes to those guys. They're not guards. So why are they expected to live up to the mantra of a premier guard in the NBA? You feel me?
Believe it or not, I think he has a chance to be, but I don't think he is. He's certainly not first ballot, and here's why. First, the superlatives. He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's a 5-time rebounding champion, if I remember correctly. At least 2 times he led the league in block shots. And you're right. 8 All-Star appearances, 5 times he was on the All-NBA team. We get that.
First team.
Was the
first team. 8 NBA teams
Since
all
that
together.
time,
All
remember,
NBA.
before he went to
5-time
LA, he
first
went
team.
to Houston. Drama. LA. Drama. Then the Charlotte and you got all of this stuff going on. And so over the last 8 years, primarily due to injury, but also the drama, he has stained his career. And when you spend...
I mean, when you look at it this way, Stephen A., you could take a lot of people out of the Hall of Fame that's in it right now. You could take a lot of them out. If you're talking about character issues, or if you're referring to what you just said, or I could just, use what you just said. That's, nobody's perfect in that, and nobody's perfect in that instance. You know what I'm saying? We all come from different backgrounds. We raised differently. We act different. We do different things when we see different things for the first time. You gotta understand, when these dudes get drafted in the league, they still kids. Like, by right, they still kids. And they get, and it's like handing them a pamphlet on handing them CEO supplies, giving them all the resources, but you're not teaching them how to like use that. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't expect just because you're a corporation, you can't expect for everybody to understand right off the rip. I mean, y'all do. I mean, the NBA does specialize in player development. I said this before. Like y'all specialize in player development, but y'all do any. But y'all were known for doing a lot of things, but developing the talent that you bring in. Especially when y'all picked him. Just any NBA player for that matter. You know what I'm saying? But as it relates to Stephen A.
And that much time having dissipated and diminished, that's going to be problematic for you. Now, I will tell you this from a numbers perspective, it's justified. Because when you see some of the numbers, the Dennis Robbins of the world and others, you can understand how he could easily make the Hall of Fame.
And another thing, Dennis didn't perform nothing like Dwight Howard offensively, but yet he still got in the Hall of Fame. Am I correct? Oh, all right then.
You could also understand how he couldn't because there's such a long period of time when he hasn't been to Dwight Howard that he was in Orlando. Yeah. And when we look at him, we say, damn, the worst thing that ever happened to him was the fact that he left the Orlando Magic because it appeared to be the ideal situation for him. But because of his brand and his visions of grandeur beyond the court of play and what he wanted to do in a quote-unquote marketing world, that combined with injury stained him so significantly that he won't be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Wait, so him promoting his brand is what costing him a spot in your Hall of Fame, Mr. Smith? I mean, I don't know how you feel about Dwight Howard now in 2021, but that was certainly an awful piece of information, like, or an awful piece of opinion or whatever it was you were offering, or whatever you were put up to do to speak against Dwight's chances of making the Hall of Fame. Who cares if he first, second, third, fourth ballot? He getting in. It's just that simple. And that's all the time I got for y'all in this video. I will be back at y'all with another video. You know what I'm saying? Another basketball video, another entertainment video. You never know what I'm coming up with. But yeah, I'm gonna be back on the streamers at some point. Very soon. You know what I'm saying? Very soon. Yeah, shout out to all my few gamer buddies that I game with, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my family. Shout out to all my people, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna ask y'all to like, share, subscribe. I just wanted y'all to be entertained for these little few minutes of your time or your break or whatever you had going on. You decided to check me out. I appreciate it. Thank you. Anything you know do for this page or channel is good for me. It's good for the brand. You did? So till next time, man. I'm signing off, man. Just do it, man. Checking out Daughter TV.